Dr. Eche, same question, direct as always. For the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, for Alan Kyeremanteng, arguably the two frontrunners in the NPP for the elections, for the NPP. What does this report mean for them, and how do they prepare to, again, upset the cast with this prediction?
Well, thank you very much. Well, there's a lot that they can take from the report. In the first place, it means that they are going to run as not the front runners, but they are going to, the momentum is now behind the NDC, right? So they are going to come in as, was it
underdogs?
Underdogs. They are going to come in as the underdogs. So then that means that shapes the kind of campaign that they are going to run. If you are Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you are the sitting vice president, you are an incumbent, you are an intrinsic part of the government. In fact, you are tied. Your political umbilical cords are tied to the president because you are it doesn't get higher than the vice president after the vice president. So he is as Akufo-Addoite as it comes.
Okay.
And he's been a major player within the Akufo-Addo regime.
And that comes with the glitz and the problems.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So all the baggage that comes with it, he inherited, and all the positives he inherited. If you are Alan Kyeremanteng, yes, you are still a member of the NPP anyway, but you are not vice president. So yeah, it's not the same in terms of the skill.
But he was minister.
Yeah, but he was minister. He is part of the administration, but he has not been a face of the administration in the same way that Dr. Bawumia has been. Dr. Bawumia has been the prognosticator, one of the big agenda setters, the face of the party in terms of selling the vision. And so if you're Mr. Alan Kyeremanteng, yes, you're still a member of the party, you're still a minister, but not in the same way that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been. So you probably want to pitch yourself as a non-Akufo-Addoite in a way. Yes, you're not in the inner circle in there.
As in to push away his record as far from you as possible? Then how do you run? What record do you run on?
In the sense that he belongs to the Kufuor camp of the party. So you maximize those advantages. You try to not stay away from it as much as possible, but then also not to betray the president. So it's a very thin line that candidates like that have to occupy.
Who has a tougher job to do with this one in terms of managing the baggage of the anti-incumbency factors that are existing? Is it a vice president or Alan Kyeremanteng?
Clearly, is a vice president. I mean, he's going to have quite a tough job trying to argue the case for the administration which he has just been part of and which he has been the face of. He's going to have a tough job trying to justify it and argue it out. Mr. Alan Kyeremanteng can always make the argument that, yes, I was in the administration, but I wasn't at the center of it. The buck didn't really stop with me. I wasn't part of the major decision-making that takes place. I'm just saying that he could make that argument and that I'm coming with my own vision. I am my own man. I'm coming with my own plan. And so he can make that argument. But at the end of the day, they are all part of the administration, and that is why the report puts them at that level.
My last question will be this. And you've mentioned names, so let's wrap it up this way. In terms of baggage and what that means for strategy, you have Dr. Bawumia, you have John Mahama.
Yes.
You have persons who don't necessarily have baggage. You have Alan Kyeremanteng, and then let's talk of Dr. Dofo, for instance. Which kind of contest will be less of baggage and more of a feisty contest going forward? That's my last question.
I think it's going to be a very feisty contest if we had Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia going against former President John Mahama.
Okay.
That is going to be one mouth-watering contest to look forward to.
Okay.
Just because there's a record on both sides. There's just a lot to pick up and debate on and contest. We have the Mahama regime record.
Achievements and baggage.
Yes, achievements and baggage.
So if the other side is equally comes in of an Alan and say a Dr. Dofo, for instance, will that be a contest that will be mouth-watering, or will that also provide a new face for politics 30 years on for this fall?
Yeah, that'll be a very different kind of contest. That'll be a different kind of contest because the permutations become very different. You have Alan Kyeremanteng, who has run for president before, but then he does not pitch himself as within the Akufo-Addo camp. And so he comes out, he pitches himself as a change candidate. Then you have Dr. Dufour, who can also pitch himself as a change candidate, as a different candidate, because he was not vice president to, let's say, John Mahama, for instance.
Okay.
He was not even a minister under the Mahama regime. So he does pitch himself as a non-Mahamite in that sense. So that then becomes a totally different election.
Going forward.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting times ahead, as I said, and for 2024, it will be quite an interesting election to look out for. But that'll be for us tonight here on State of Affairs. I want to say a big thank you to Dr. Asante for joining us via Zoom, and to you, Dr. Eche Sekanku. Thank you very much. The days ahead will be interesting. We will be watching this space. That's it for us here on State of Affairs. I'm Francis Ab. And up next is The Way with Miss Nancy. Good night.